Welcome to Beyond the Signboard, where you get the opportunity to learn all there is to know about your real estate journey from professionals who are passionate about property. I'm Amy Bennett, your host, and I look forward to providing you with education, inspiration, and a behind-the-scenes look at the world of real estate. Well, good morning and welcome to Beyond the Signboard.
Good morning, Amy.
Colin Mason from Mason Finance Group. Welcome.
It's good to be here.
It's so exciting. I have to first up thank you for the inspiration to get going with the podcast.
What a drama.
It's exciting. You've been venturing with this for quite a while now.
We have. We set up, obviously, our podcast channel, Interest Rates with Mates. So we've got 30 plus, I think, now episodes. So going strong and yeah, we've got plenty more in the pipeline.
Amazing. We'll have a little chat about your podcast later. Colin is a really valued friend of our team here at McGrath. We've personally known each other for over 7 years, and it's been really wonderful to have you as a trusted partner for our clients, also probably most of our team as well. Really excited to share your journey in mortgage broking, but getting to know you as well. So we'll chat about your team of over 20 people, where you've come from to get to where you are, and a little bit of getting to know you as well.
Looking forward to it.
Amazing. So let's get started with your career journey. I always love to learn where you have come from to get to where you are now.
Yeah, so left school, 1995, so a long, long time ago. And then sort of left school, got straight into an apprenticeship as a boilermaker. I did that for 3 years. I'm not very good with hands-on, so I lasted 3 years and then got into finance.
Amazing.
So been in finance for the last 25, 30 years, roughly. Started doing a lot of insurance, so general insurance and then group insurance, superannuation, a whole range of different things. Debt collection was thrown in there as well. So and then got into mortgage broking back in 2004, moved to Queensland from Sydney, and then been in Queensland ever since, worked as a mortgage broker pretty much since then. So
amazing. So 20-year anniversary this year.
This year, yeah, amazing. About now actually.
Yeah, so, incredible. Yeah. So before we go into that, tell us a little bit more about the debt collecting. I'm really interested in that role.
It's when you're young and you're resilient, you can make any phone call. So I didn't sort of think too much of it, but obviously we're making a number of calls per day. It was AGC back in the day, which was owned by Westpac, so back on the Parramatta River, and you'd make 100 plus calls a day, and it was obviously helping people make the repayments on their credit card facilities or personal loan facilities, or sending out the sheriff when it got serious. So it was a different type of role. I think it gave me a taste for finance, and I think for a lot of people that start in a role as a debt collection expert, that sort of paves the way for them, I think, on this journey into finance, because there's a lot of challenges in that role. You're speaking to different clients with different backgrounds, with various financial struggles, I suppose, and we're there to help them. So.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's really evident now, getting to know you, is that education component and being of service and helping. So I guess you don't want people to get to that stage. Was there a passion for finance in school? Were you excelling in those components at school?
No, look, to be honest, I was never one to get good grades in maths. I was probably more getting good grades in science, to be honest with you. So I could have been a scientist. There you go.
Yeah.
But no, look, maths was never a strong point. But I always had a passion for helping people, and I didn't, I chose not to go to university. I chose to do other things like the apprenticeship, with the boiler making. I was sort of trying to find my way as I left school. Didn't know really what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to leave school and start to make some money and get out there in the real world. Which is what I did. So, and I had the support of mum and dad as well, which was great at the time. And but no, look, I sort of just fell into finance, to be honest with you. But once I had a taste of that debt collection role and in doing insurance for customers, and then superannuation as well, a bit of financial planning in the early sort of 2000s, I loved it.
Amazing.
And now I can't see myself doing anything else, to be honest with you.
Well, we'll get to that a little bit later. So you mentioned mum and dad. I know you come from a really special family, and it's so wonderful, isn't it, to have your parents' support and belief in you?
Yeah, absolutely. Mum and dad are great. They've always supported me. as does my wife now and my 3 kids. So, but yeah, look, it's finance is. It's a great industry. There's plenty of variables in finance. There's plenty of challenges, plenty of successes. There's heaps of things going on in finance always. So you're always learning.
No 2 days are the same, right?
No, every day is different.
Yeah. So look, what I'd love you to do is just to share with our audience what is a mortgage broker and what is your role.
Yeah. So a mortgage broker, put it quite simply, we're there to give choice. So customers would call a mortgage broker to save them having to do the research themselves. I mean, there's a lot of information there on Google and on the web platforms these days, but like to give you an idea, on our panel there's 4,000 products. So there's a lot of different products. If you're not accustomed to understanding what the features are of different products or lender policies, etc., or terms, then give a mortgage broker a call. We'll go through and we'll have a look at your situation, make an assessment of how we can help you, and then we basically pair a bank or a few banks to your scenario. That's where a mortgage broker is there to help you.
Amazing. So I think that's a really important thing to highlight. So if a customer was to go to their bank, how many products would they have on offer generally?
Look, I mean, if you said 10,
yes.
10 roughly, that would be enough to cover, I think, all the different product suites. So generally speaking, you've got variable rate products, you've got fixed rate products. And then you've got other line of credits, you've got business loan products as well. So it depends on the bank. But if you said 10 to 15 products, generally you're going to get choice around that. But these days the industry is all about best interest duty. So we need to, as a broker, always act in the best interest of our clients. And by doing that, we're obviously comparing the market, always ensuring that we're getting the best product for our clients.
Amazing. I think it was really interesting you mentioned there about Google, and I think you're correct. We do have a lot of information at our fingertips, but I think definitely there is some warning signs there, isn't there, as far as sponsored posts or incentivization.
Yeah.
That I think that's probably something that I'd love to delve into a little bit more, because you probably come across that quite often, where sometimes a shiny deal or an incentivization, a cashback, things like that may not be the best choice for the client.
No, we've always said that. It was only a couple of years ago the banks were throwing refinance cashbacks, so cash to refinance your loan to them, but it wasn't always in the customer's best interest. But yet it was all about the money. So you got to have a look at the underlying facts and what you're really getting when you open up that present, so to speak. So and it's not always about the product; it's about other things within the product. So some of the features, for example, like you might be looking for things like a fixed rate, but you might be looking for interest only terms. So there's all these different variables. When we sit down and discuss scenarios with the customer. But look, these days it's no hidden secret. The world's going digital, and it's easier for people to surf the net on their phone or their tablets, etc. So, but I still think there's that level of human interaction that customers need and want, and that's where brokers are obviously there to have that or hold that relationship. And then we go through and we assess the different products, assess different lenders. There's I think upwards of 80 plus lenders in the Australian market at the moment, both digital and both with branches, for example. So there's plenty of different options out there, but don't get caught with the wrong option.
Yeah, I really, really think that's such a valued insight. Who do you think should use a mortgage broker?
Everyone. Really.
Trick question.
Trick question. Yeah. So honestly, I think everyone should use a mortgage broker. I think. Back in the day, I used to deal with one of the major banks religiously, and then when I got into mortgage broking in the early 2000s, obviously then I learnt myself that it's not all about just having that one relationship with the one bank. It's about comparing.
Absolutely.
And I think everyone should at least give themselves the chance to compare what they've got with the market. In most cases, if they see a mortgage broker, in most cases I'd be highly surprised if they couldn't walk away with a better option.
So that would lead me to the thought that perhaps if somebody's already in their mortgage journey, they could still reach out and seek, a second opinion of where they're at.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, even if you're halfway down, you might even have an approval with your current bank and think, what you've got approved is fantastic. And then your friend says, look, go and see a mortgage broker, and then we can say, we can save you 5, maybe 10 basis points, which is 0.05 to 0.1% off. And depending on what you're borrowing, that could be $1,000, $2,000 a year back in your pocket, which is a holiday, nearly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, there's all that type of stuff. I mean, even last week there was a customer, one of the brokers in my office saved them over $50,000 a year. They thought they're getting the best special from their bank. So again, just a chat. I've always said just a chat doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't charge as a mortgage broker anyhow. But, a 5-minute conversation and you can be walking away with money back in your pocket.
Yeah, and I'm happy to sort of share that was a really great, I guess an added bonus for you, being a client of yours was, refinancing or even just your team calling my lender on my behalf. And I know we saved $2,800 annually. So really grateful for that. Definitely a good holiday available. Colin, you're really passionate about your team. So 2.5 years ago, you started Mason Finance Group. You've already outgrown one office. I know this is one of your favourite topics to discuss. So tell us about your team and their roles.
So it's no hidden secret, I love my team. We set up Mason Finance Group back in July 2021, just with a few of us, and we've now grown to a team of 23, 24, and we're always looking, for great staff. So we've grown quite quickly. We've got myself and we've got Jess and Todd as the owners of the business, and then we've got 3 other senior brokers, and then we've got admin. So our and I suppose you know me very well, Amy. So we're very process driven. So we love the customers to just go through that journey and be really, really happy. And get the successful outcome that we're sort of chasing. So we do spend a lot of time with clients on their journey. We're not just a transactional mortgage broking office; we're a relationship-based mortgage broking office. So we build relationships with our customers. It's not just the first meeting that we have with a customer where we do an application. We might do 2 or 3 meetings before we get to that application, just helping the customers understand what their goals, their objectives are, what their needs are, and then how do we tailor that to a product and a lender that's going to suit.
Yeah, I think it's just an absolute real point of difference with your business is that level of care, the way you look after your clients. I know that that's really important to you, but equally your team. I think also too, it's really important. You're an amazing leader within your business. You really empower your team members. And I think that gives you the ability to be able to still, I love the fact that you love being on the phone and chatting to your clients and really being that face of the business. But obviously there's a lot of work that happens behind the scenes. So your team are essentially, assisting clients throughout that process.
We are, yeah. Look, I mean, we with the 6 brokers that we've got, the brokers and the way we've designed the process is the brokers will do the advice piece of the process. So sitting down with a client, going through the goals, objectives, etc., recommending a product, and then once the broker's done that part of the process, we have a processing team where they manage the client all the way through to approval. And then we have a settlement team as well that manage all the settlements. So we do break the process up, and the reason why I've done that is because we don't proclaim to be experts in everything. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm not an expert in admin, for example, and some of the settlement team wouldn't be experts as brokers. So, like, we've broken it up so that the customer journey is a success all the time. So, and that's, the reason why we've got all the Google reviews, et cetera now, and we've got a lot of repeat customers, and customers love what we do. So, and they feel that they get the choice and they get the sort of service, compared to what the banks might give them at the branch level or by phoning a bank in Melbourne, for example. So no, we've sort of built that process over the last couple of years, and we're really working hard to get that better and better. But we're in a pretty good place at the moment.
Amazing. And I think that's what 20 years experience does, is it shows you, it's a really interesting thing. In a previous role, I've been in our property management team, and a lot of people would always say, look, I just want that one dedicated team member. Well, of course, that team member gets sick or needs to go on holidays. Yep. And you're exactly right. We're not an expert at everything. So that's been something that, with my time at McGrath, that we've, really made sure that, we have dedicated team members.
Yep.
One team member loves doing inspections, so that's her sole role. And it's incredible to have people in the lane that they want to be in.
Yep.
You've also had a lot of growth within your team as well. You really love inspiring and empowering your team, which I really admire.
Yeah, absolutely. A few of the team members that we've had are now stepped up into other roles as well. So we've got one of the processing managers in there at the moment about to become a broker. We've got my son, my 18-year-old son, just stepped up into another role as well, which is a promotion for him because he's been doing well. So So there's always opportunity within our business, and because we're growing so quickly as well, over the next couple of years we're looking for sort of more growth opportunities, and I think we'll get there. So there's always opportunities in finance, and I think I was saying to you off the camera before that finance is all about opportunities, and there's so many opportunities, so many variables in the finance world these days, and I think we'll look to improve and expand on that.
Amazing. And you're very much personally and professionally, you love having that trusted network of professionals. I know, that we quite often are working with the same other professionals in other industries, and that's really important to you as well.
Absolutely. I've always said, you've got to have a good team of people around you, and you've got to make sure they're all working in your best interest as well. You don't want a team of people where they're, in my opinion, taking a clip of the ticket the whole way through, because no one, or the consumer, the client, doesn't win on the back of that. So I think you've got to have a good team of people around you that are all acting in your best interest, that understand taxation matters, financial planning, mortgage broking, property, real estate, for example. So there's a heap of good people that you can basically throw around you, and that's your team moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something that if people are lacking one of those components, exactly like you say, ask somebody that you do have in that trusted sphere, and then you can really expand your network. We're going to just run through a couple of the, key products that you have or key questions. So I know you mentioned borrowing capacities are a really hot topic and something. So we'll probably delve into a deeper episode in the future, but just give us a taste of each of these topics.
So borrowing capacity is probably the leading question that we get asked at the moment. Borrowing capacity has changed quite a lot over the last few years with the interest rate hikes. So at the moment, generally speaking, you can borrow around 5 times what your gross salary is per year, and that's before any debt, so credit card debt, personal loans, or even kids, for example, are factored in. Before COVID, that was about 8 to 9 times, so it just gives you an idea on how much it's changed. Every lender is different, like I said, there's 60 plus lenders on our panel, so every lender will be different. But borrowing capacity would be a hot topic at the moment. So, and again, a customer that might go and speak to their bank and think that they're getting the best outcome, it might be that you can borrow another $20,000 or $30,000 extra with another bank that might get you into a house that they're looking to buy in the market today. So
yeah, amazing. And look, even you've helped. I know there's a few industries, nurses and everything like that. I've connected you with some potential clients, and you've been able to unlock some really special deals for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are banks there that'll do a 90% loan to value ratio for nurses, even teachers now as well, where there's no mortgage insurance payment. So mortgage insurance is, mortgage insurance is where you borrow more than 80% of the value of the home. The banks will basically insure your loan or reinsure it, and the mortgage insurers charge the bank a premium for that, which then they pass on to the customer. So if we can avoid that lender's mortgage insurance, depending on the scenario, the customer might save $10,000 to $20,000 of upfront fees. So again, that's just a classic example of having choice when you come to a mortgage broker. And if you're a nurse and you went to one of the major banks, for example, the chances are you won't get those benefits. So, but there's other smaller lenders there that have those benefits. Amazing.
Let's chat about fixed versus variable. Always a hot topic.
Yes, fixed versus variable. So, that question gets asked probably once or twice a week at the moment as well. So, should I fix or should I remain on variable? So, and look, it depends on the customer scenario. Look, there's no hidden secrets that the RBA hopefully will start to slash the cash rate this year. We don't know when exactly, but we're sort of tipping the back end of this year. There might be 1 or 2 rate cuts. Fixed rates have already started falling on the back of those announcements as well. So, look, most customers at the moment are choosing to stay on variable. So, but again, a chat with us, a mortgage broker, we can sit down and discuss your scenario and work out what's best for you.
Perfect. So for those listening or watching, we're recording in February 2024. So who knows where interest rates will be when you're listening?
Yes.
Let's chat about primary place of residence versus investment properties. So obviously different rates for those two scenarios.
Yeah, there is. And again, it comes down to all those different lenders and what they're offering. But generally speaking, you'll be charged a slightly higher rate of interest when you're buying an investment compared to buying a home that you're living in. There's obviously tax benefits that come with investment properties. So in terms of borrowing capacity, what we mentioned a second ago, you can have a different outcome for investment loans compared to an owner-occupied loan. Again, obviously a discussion with a mortgage broker, we can go through your personal scenario and work out what you can borrow for both circumstances or both different scenarios around buying a home or buying an investment. I suppose just on the back of that, I mean, first home buyers at the moment that are limited with their borrowing capacity. Some of them are even looking at buying an investment property now to help them get into the market. With rental income, obviously, on that investment, helping them borrow a little bit more.
Amazing.
So we're doing a little bit of those conversations at the moment as well. So, and again, it comes down to choice. But yeah.
Let's talk about first home buyers. Really passion of mine and also yours.
Yep.
I know that your team hosts a lot of seminars, and that's definitely something that you're really keen to expand on.
We did a seminar last night actually.
There we go.
Yeah, so we love first home buyers. And just putting a smile on their face and really helping them with their journey through that sort of process of buying real estate for the first time. So first home buyers generally borrow with a 5% deposit, but there's plenty of different schemes available to at the moment. So government schemes that are available for first home buyers if they meet certain eligibility, where you don't have to pay the lender's mortgage insurance. Or you're getting a government grant, for example. There's $30,000 as a government grant now if you build brand new, for example. So there's benefits there to help first home buyers into the market. So if you're listening, you're a first home buyer, definitely give us a call because we're doing more seminars for first home buyers, and we do go through a lot of that stuff.
And I think as well with first home buyers, one of the things I was really educated from your team was super saver schemes and things like that.
Yes.
So rather than a first home buyer, doing all of that work themselves, saving a deposit, when would you encourage them to come to one of your seminars?
That's a good question. So, and we said this last night to the first home buyers that were there, is that we're not a transactional mortgage broker, so we want to build a relationship, like I said before. So make an appointment, come and have a chat with us. We don't charge you at all. We'll sit down and we'll start your journey today. And it might be 12 months, it might even be 2 years before you actually end up in a position to be able to buy something with a deposit, etc. But we want to build that scenario with you. So if you're thinking of getting into the market or understanding a little bit more about how to get into the market with finance, book a meeting with us. Sit down with us or one of our brokers and we'll go through the whole journey with you.
Amazing. And first home buyers, I know a lot of the parents come along as well, which is really great. And I know that that's, something, like I said, that's really important to your team. And What a feeling to be able to help somebody, to put that sold sticker up. And as we always say, it really is, such a special process. And that's the whole reason for this podcast, is really to share all of the behind the scenes beyond the signboard, that gets to that sold sticker. So, that's a momentous journey for a first home buyer. I know personally you helped us in our first home journey, which I always joke because it was kind of an impossible scenario, and you made it possible. So, we'll be forever grateful for that. But, I'm sure you're doing that countless times a week.
Always trying to find solutions. So,
amazing.
And again, that's the joys of what we do as a mortgage broker, is finding choice and trying to unravel the customer scenarios to try and find a bank that's going to be tailored to their needs. So
I think that's that science coming back out, isn't it? Finding the formula to get to people.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I don't know what formula is, but we make it as we go. But no, look, it's I don't know. I just love finance. I mean, I love finding the solution. We love challenges. Challenges aren't scary to us.
It's amazing.
So,
that's really exciting, I'm sure, for the audience. Bridging finance is also just one more little thing I just wanted to, I know we could talk for hours about that on its own. It's something that I've done a lot of research, really specialising in downsizing and helping people with transitional process in their real estate journey. So just give us a little taste of what it is, and then I think we'll take that offline for another podcast in the future.
100%. So bridging finance is it's a product that allows customers to buy something else, so buy another real estate asset before they've actually sold what they've got. So it allows them to move without having to do a subject to sale, etc. So there's a few good products on the market at the moment. One in particular, if a customer's looking to downsize, for example, they can get bridging finance to buy the next property. They'll settle on the next property, move into it, and then they can sell their property within 6 months. They don't need to be working. They don't need to show income, nothing like that, as long as there's no what they call end debt. So end debt being that once you've sold the existing house, you don't have any requirement for a mortgage at all on the new house that you've just bought. So it's an easy process. You can normally get conditionally approved in a couple of days. And it allows, as I said, people to downsize and move into the next real estate asset with not a lot of documents at all.
Amazing.
So that's one one part of it, and then there's another bridging finance product where you do require a mortgage at the end, and then there's other products on the market for that, which I won't go into a lot of detail today, but we can do that offline. Yeah.
We can. Look, I can't help myself though. Just putting my real estate hat on, I guess, and to give our audience a bit of a taste. So some key things for that, which is why I'm very pro people doing that, is, generally people don't know, do I sell first? Do I buy first? And it is it's our basic human need. If we went back to Maslow's hierarchy of basic human needs, shelter is that core principle. And, that's something that I'm really aware of in my role. Yep. So, that fear of being homeless, obviously we've been through quite a significant housing crisis. So I think that's a really great thing that it's really able to unlock.
Absolutely. Look, bridging finance, it's, if you're thinking about, I suppose, making that next step in your journey, people have felt in the past that they were sort of backed into a corner. I want to buy something, but bridging finance costs so much money, which, there's a myth that it does. And look, it depends on the advice piece, to be honest with you. Like a lot of banks would get that part wrong, to be honest with you, in terms of the way they set their sort of product up. But there are banks, on the market at the moment, or in the market at the moment, that offer the bridging product. It doesn't cost a lot of money. And in fact, if you work it out, if you sold your property to go and rent and then to buy something, it's actually cheaper to pay the bridging finance fees, in most cases anyhow, to make that bridge to the next property. So
there is a real misconception. I think that's probably something that, we both, get as feedback quite often, and we're, both obviously working together to overcome that. It also allows the prospective buyer to be in a much stronger position when presenting an offer as well. So that's just something I wanted to highlight. So I know your team's phenomenal. I've referred countless people to your team to have that conversation, just so that they're in a stronger position when they, put forward an offer.
100%. Look, we've done just a bridging finance loan for an 86-year-old, for example, downsizing. So on an age pension. So again, didn't need to be working, didn't need to show that she could service the bridging finance debt. So for your audience that's listening that wants to downsize and is thinking of selling but wanting to buy something before they sell, absolutely give us a call, or give you a call, and we can have a chat. But for a lot of customers, bridging finance is like a swear word.
Yeah.
They don't even want to mention. We don't even want to go there, but the clients that we are engaging, that we are talking to about bridging finance, when we actually break it all down for them, there's a sigh of relief nearly.
Again, it's education, and I think it's had a few different new names and everything like that, hasn't it? But look, I think that's, the evolution of products that are available. So I thought it was really important that we mentioned to that. I guess speaking of myths and misconceptions, what's one major one with your industry?
Probably the biggest question or the biggest myth would be brokers charge a fee for service, which we don't, or we shouldn't do anyhow. No doubt there's brokers out there that do charge a fee for service, but no, look, we shouldn't be charging any fees for our service. The banks will basically pay us an upfront commission, which is like a referral fee, which we receive only once the loan settles. So the brokers don't charge, and they shouldn't charge, and they should give you all the time of the day to sit down with you and understand your needs and objectives, and then act in your best interest. So if they're not doing that, then call the next mortgage broker.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds like a good hook to give your team a call. I think you're exactly right, though. When I do, refer people to, seek further information, they definitely do think there's a cost associated. So that's a really good thing for us to break down. We probably already have a feel for it. Well, what do you love about your role?
Just helping people. I absolutely love it. When we get challenges, and we do get a lot of challenges in terms of scenarios from customers, but just seeing the smile on their face, that's the biggest joy for me and also my team. In fact, we even have a bell in the office that we ring, when we get the approval on some hard deals. So, and the whole team gets around it. So that's what we love doing. Just to see customers come in, shoulders slumped, they've been to 3 or 4 other brokers or banks and they're just not getting the right answer, and then we get it over the line for them. That's the stuff that we thrive.
And that's something that's happening regularly for you, isn't it? You like you said, with a challenge, when someone gets a no, that's your, I guess that's when your superhero powers come out.
Yep.
And really looking at all options. So I think that's a really good message for people to understand, that no doesn't mean no.
Correct.
There's just another option to pursue.
100% agree with that. I think don't exhaust, 2 or 3 options and then think you can't get the 4th option done, because we've seen many clients over the years, me doing this job, where they've been trying for months, and then come and see us, and then we'll get it done.
Yeah, amazing. So obviously finance has been a journey, 20 years, amazing. What would you do if you weren't in finance?
Look, airline pilot. So I mean, obviously I've got my private pilot's license, and I also teach people how to fly in my spare time.
Yes.
So I just love aviation, love flying. My dad used to be a pilot when he was younger, just a private pilot, and I sort of had the passion for it. I think ever since I was, 2 years of age, sitting in his cockpit up in the air with him, flying in New South Wales somewhere. I can't even think where it was now, but. I think ever since then I had a passion for it. So, and then when I had the chance to do it about 6 or 7 years ago, I did my license and then did some instructing, and love it.
Amazing. Well, I have been in the plane with you.
You have?
We took a scenic route.
We survived.
Bit of hesitation there. We took a scenic route around the Glasshouse Mountains, which was really magic. That's where I grew up. You let me have a quick little example of flying the plane, of which wasn't my forte, so I won't be following in your footsteps. But yeah, it's amazing. We have such a beautiful coastline here. You mentioned you just took a quick trip up on
Hervey Bay on Sunday. So a good mate of mine's got a plane, and we went up to Hervey Bay through Sunshine Coast on Sunday morning, which is the nicest day we've had for a long time, with all the rain obviously backing away for a little while, hopefully. Had coffee up there and then returned.
Hey, what a Sunday.
Yeah, it's great way to start the day.
So Hervey Bay is a beautiful place. I'd love to know, you enjoy holidays, as do I. What's your dream holiday destination?
I would say winter in Canada.
Yes.
So Vancouver, Canada, and then summer in Europe. So Rome, the Greek islands.
Beautiful. That's a year covered.
Absolutely. So
you just had a lovely family holiday over Christmas?
We did. We went to Whistler for a white Christmas, and didn't snow apart from Christmas Day, which was perfectly fine because that's what we wanted. But the kids got a chance to snow, and so did I. I wasn't very good at it, but. We had a great time, and then we went down to San Diego and into America as well with the kids. So I had a great time.
Beautiful. So cherishing those moments. The boys are all obviously growing up very fast.
They are taller than me. Yeah. So, and you've met them. So.
Yes, not the easiest thing to get everybody all together for a family holiday, but I'm sure that was lots of fun for everyone.
It was. We had a great time. So it was good to take 3 to 4 weeks off.
Yeah, look, really well deserved. I think that's, it's probably a shift in your mindset, if you don't mind me saying, to really balance out and have that time. Both you and I, we really love what we do. We're very passionate. I'd say we're married to our jobs.
We are, yes.
We both have very understanding spouses. Speaking of, and I kind of probably know the answer to this question, but what was the most amazing day of your life?
Definitely meeting Bianca and marrying my wife, Bianca, and then obviously the 3 kids that we've got, absolutely. And I'd probably suggest, if I can add a third one, setting up Mason Finance Group. That was we sort of umming and ahhing whether we should do it, whether we shouldn't do it, and we did it. And 2.5 years later, we've got a big team that we absolutely love and a great future.
Yeah, so 5 best days of your life.
5, yeah. So.
I think, look, you and I are the same. Every day that you wake up breathing's a beautiful day.
Right.
Just a quick little segue. When you started Mason Finance Group with Jess, you want to just delve into that a little bit. It's a really special story and your history together.
Yeah, look, it's I took a break out of finance, as you know. And to be honest with you, I was going to probably go and do more of the flying and try and maybe get into the airlines, et cetera. So, but obviously change of heart just after that. And Jess, a good friend of mine, I was doing a bit of business coaching, and Jess and I sort of sat down and discussed maybe doing like a finance business, getting into mortgage broking, which we did. And when we agreed to do it, I said to Jess, well, look, let's just start at my house in the garage. We'll just start and see how it goes. And then as soon as we sort of announced that we were doing it, then the calendar started filling up, and then all of a sudden we needed an office, and then we needed more team members, and then all of a sudden we needed more office space. And it's just sort of sort of gone from there. But it's been a great journey. So.
Amazing. Well, you are a very humble person, but it is all very well deserved. I would also probably add that there's probably a bit of peer pressure in that time off. I'm sure your phone didn't stop ringing that time.
No, well, I mean, I didn't have the phone. But
we found you other ways.
Social media, stuff like that. So it's, it's been. Oh, look, the support I've received over the years, and I've always said if you do the right thing by people, generally good things come. So I've always tried to look after my customers in the best possible way, and always been very humble, like you know. And it's not about the awards and the accolades and the recognition. It's about me just helping people, and it's the same for my team as well. My team is very well centred around that. They just want to help people, and that's what we're all about.
Look, you've got a beautiful culture within the team. Charity and community contributions really important as well.
Yep.
I know that you're always the first to put your hand up and support a lot of local Sunshine Coast-based organisations. I know that the team, doesn't hesitate to, get the sausage sizzle frying at an auction.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do lots of great things together. I know your team will always support at our Sunset Sneak Peeks with a free education session or ability for people to crunch the numbers at open home. So that's really valued.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're always happy to get involved wherever we can. So.
Yeah, all right. Well, a couple of final questions.
Yep.
What would be your favourite food and drink, favourite meal?
Favourite meal, definitely a good hot curry.
Yes.
I love that.
Proper hot?
Proper hot.
Wow.
Yeah, Indian hot, as we say. And favourite drink would be espresso martini.
Nice.
I love a good espresso martini.
I like it. Curry of choice?
Curry of choice would be chicken lahori.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Yeah.
That's my favourite too.
Yeah.
Hard to get. So I do know. Where is your favourite Indian from?
So Rangoli, up in Budrum, Sunshine Coast. So I've been going there for years.
So we just spoke about it offline. We love curry bowl. So the same owners, and the chicken lahori there is amazing. Our favourite as well. Espresso martini, yes, that's a favourite of my husband, who wakes up early and often needs that to keep him awake at night.
No, definitely good espresso martini. We've got some good friends of ours that make a mean espresso martini.
Good.
And we're going there on Saturday night, I think, so I can't wait.
Perfect. So no sleeping Saturday night.
No sleeping Sunday, probably. So.
And the final question is, what is your favourite quote or saying?
Favourite quote would be happiness is not the key to success. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you're always going to be successful.
Yes.
I've always lived by that.
Yes.
And my mum once gave me a signboard saying, don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life, which is super important to me. So that's probably one of the reasons why I took a break, to be honest with you, out of finance, not burning the candles at both ends, and just really getting myself into a point where, I think when you're down the tools a little bit and you've actually not got everything coming at you at a million miles an hour, you can actually think seriously about what your future looks like. I think that's really important for a lot of people.
I think you probably also, it was a reignited passion for the industry as well. But absolutely. I hope also you felt that, the loss to the industry. So that's been something that we're absolutely delighted that you're back. So that brings us to the end, can you believe, already? I know we could talk for hours, but I have no doubt we have emails and phone calls piling up. So Colin, I would love our audience to know how they can find you and the team.
Yeah, so the best way to get in touch with us would be either my mobile number, so 0437 007 407, or they can call the office on 5211 0099 and make a meeting with a broker.
Perfect.
Generally speaking, you can get in within a couple of days with our brokers, depending on who you want to see.
Awesome. And following on all the social channels. I know
all the social channels.
Your team does a great job. I know we always talk about that. Obviously, that's a passion of mine. So, Mr. Colin Mason, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
I absolutely love and adore you, both personally and professionally.
Thanks, Amy.
So grateful for all you've done for my family and, most importantly, my clients.
Always welcome.
All right. Thanks, Colin.
No dramas.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Beyond the Signboard. We trust you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it for you. If there are any topics you want covered in the future, make sure you reach out and let us know. Also, feedback and suggestions are appreciated, almost as much as likes, shares and downloads.